Good evening, rebels. I hope you've had a great Easter and not eaten too much chocolate. Wanted to jump on this evening. It's been quite a hectic day, and actually, I chose to go live now, but suddenly found out I had an unexpected visitor this evening, so I was tempted to do it on video, but fingers crossed that we won't be disturbed. But the reason for it being now rather than 8 o'clock this morning was just giving me time to prepare to think about what I was going to talk about this evening. Because if you like, the moral of the story yesterday was whatever you do, never travel back on a bank holiday after spending what felt like sort of 8 or more hours in traffic. So anyway, today for me is all about clearing the blocks to be able to follow through on ideas for your new working life after corporate. So I wonder if you've been like me in the past, that you get started with great intentions to leave corporate world, off to pastures new, it's all very exciting, but then your momentum wanes, it takes a big drop, and your motivation too, and you struggle to see things through. And it would be great, wouldn't it, if someone came along on a white charger and said that they would do it for us. But no, it has to come from us, and you can do this. So if you are really keen to leave corporate world for another working life, which I know I was, but you know, the feeling is so overwhelming, not only to leave what feels very familiar but slightly uncomfortable and icky, but for the unknown that's around the corner. And when we feel in this, space, we do get stuck, and we feel a bit like a spinning top, not daring to go in one direction or the other. And I'm sure that sounds all too familiar. So here are my sort of 5 top tips, 5 in fact to muse over this evening to help clear those blocks. So this is a bit about the how. So the first one is all about the fear of failure. And now that keeps us stuck, it keeps us scared, and it keeps us frustrated. And you know what? Why would you leave something that you are comfortable with, albeit you may not be happy, and trade something that you could fail at? Well, you know what? That's negative language in itself. So the idea is to take action without expectation. So to really focus on what you want to do, and to leave the thinking behind about what's going to be the result, what's going to be the outcome. Otherwise, you won't get started at all, and you'll be holding yourself in judgment before you even start the thing off in the first place that you really want to do. And this will help really get you into an energetic space for a career change, change of working life, and into a space of real creativity and joy around what you're doing. So really do what fills you with joy and energy, and you can't fail. Tip number 2 from me. Maybe you've got a great idea for a business that's bubbling away, but you know what? You might have slipped into, well, that's been done before, that type of excuse. So a reason not to get started, to try and put the effort in. So what? So what if it's been done before? The difference is that if you start it, we're all unique, and you'll bring your unique perspective to it, and you will attract your own tribe. And the third top tip, and we all fall into it, that overwhelm. That block about overwhelm. It's too much, it's too tricky. If I do this, I've got to get it right. And so what's that doing right, all about? And what we need to do is to just break it down into little right actions so we move in the right direction. So for example, if you were, I don't know, thinking about changing from corporate world and being exercise instructor, I don't know, yoga or Pilates, then you might want to start thinking about doing some research to, retrain as an exercise instructor, look into a course, work out how to fund it, maybe tune into some blogs or podcasts by teachers, or maybe find people as you're training that you can support and help for free. And as you're doing this with that overwhelm, just recognize it's okay to feel these feelings and don't kind of pass any judgment over it. The fourth tip, it's that dealing with that discomfort of doing something a bit different. But it's exciting, isn't it? And that's the thing to focus on, and to have the faith in what you're doing, to be gutsy and courageous, and to give things a try. That's the space to focus on, and consider what you have to gain rather than sitting in that discomfort. And then the final one for me, And we all have these feelings that one minute we're really in that energetic space and really good vibes around this new working life and what it's going to be like. And then we find ourselves in those more negative feelings. You know, we're all human, right? And I'll pop a couple of quotes up, a couple of thoughts up a little bit later as a follow-on to this. And you know what? It all comes down to choice, whether we choose to sit in those sort of negative vibes or we choose to change our vibration into a more positive space. And you know what? If we choose to stay stuck in those bad feelings, then that's our choice, nobody else's. So be kind to yourself, take small steps, recognize those emotions that you're going through, but treat them with curiosity and love and self-care, and you will get there and you will feel inspired and energetic. So I wanted to leave you there today. So I'm going to be back on Thursday. It is going to be 8 o'clock in the morning. And I think it's okay to say this. I'm not sure what it's going to be about at the moment, but tune in anyway. It'll probably be a follow-on to this, to clearing the box, maybe a little bit about happiness, or maybe sharing a little bit about what other people have done in moving away from corporate life. So enjoy your Tuesday evening. I think I'm off to have a well-deserved glass of wine after the busy day that I've had, and I'm sure you've had as well. And I'll see you again bright and breezy 8 o'clock Thursday morning. Take care. Bye for now.